Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to be looking at, well, something a bit different. Spend a lot of time looking at tier 8s and 7s, which are mostly the new ones that are coming out. In fact, I can't remember the last time we had a new low tier vehicle. And this is not a new one, it's one that's been in the game for a while. And it's the American tier 2 light tank, the T2 Light, surprisingly enough. And it was actually it's a prototype of the M2 Light, which is a tier 2 American tech tree light tank. And I was asked to do a review on this one by somebody in the comments, and I basically thought it'd be about time to get around to doing it. So it's already on the press account, so that's why I'm looking at it on here, because it's not one that I've had to buy. However, I have had a great deal of fun in it, and may actually pick one up. Now, its price, according to Tankopedia, and I've not got this in, well, because I've already got it in my garage, the price isn't shown on the tech tree, but the price shows as 750 gold in the Tankopedia, which, if I remember rightly, is what it does sit in the tech tree as. And at the moment, it's actually in the store as a new tanker bundle. There's a couple. There's the Panzer S35. But here we are, the new tanker kit, sorry, T2 light tank, 850 gold, and you also get a load of shells with it, which is what you normally do anyway, but you get a load of APCR thrown in there as well, a garage slot, and 3 days of premium. So considering that it's 750 on its own, garage slot's what, 300 gold. That's, you know, it's not a bad deal. It's quite a nice little bargain. Yeah, they are the 300 gold. Now, like I said before, it's tier 2. Plays up to tier 4, and there's not going to be a great deal to say about this with the tier 2s, because it's not like you know, I'm going to have to look for weak spots and what have you. But I will just say this tank is a load of fun. It really is fun. It's got no armor to speak of. You just zip around the battlefield at really high speeds with a really good power to weight ratio, and use its sort of spray and pray gun to good effect. And if you can get close and just empty a clip into somebody, you just annihilate them. And yeah, I've not had quite as much fun in a tank for a while, actually. Not as much fun as this anyway. So yeah, definitely enjoying looking down at the sort of more cheap and cheerful end of the scale, as opposed to looking at the more expensive tier 8s and 7s all the time. But anyway, let's get into it. So, 265 horsepower, which won't mean a great deal and doesn't sound a lot, because we're used to looking at like 1,000 horsepower and whatever. But it gives it a fantastic power to weight ratio, which I'll look at in a moment. You've got a 20mm Hispano Souza, which is very similar to the one that you get on the M2 Light. In fact, it's almost identical, but it has had its rate of fire buffed ever so slightly to 98.25 rounds a minute. Now, it is an auto-loader, so that's, you know, it's not just continuous fire. You do have to reload your clip, and it's about 7.5 seconds for a full reload. It shows 5 rounds in the clip, but I think each time you pull the trigger and fire 1 round, it must fire 3 or 4 out at least. So it does deal quite a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. So yeah, 30 penetration on your standard rounds with 12 average damage, 41 for your premium, so not a lot to fall back on, but I've not had to fire any premium yet. Although it does pull up to tier 4, and I've only seemed to have seen tier 2 matches in it, so you know, I can't really comment on that. But in the tier 4 matches, it's so quick, you can just sort of scout out and then work the flanks and zip up behind things and just empty the clip into the backside. Aiming time 1.71 seconds, which is slightly, ever so slightly, longer than it is on the M2 Light, which is 1.7. Same accuracy at 0.50, which is typical for these sort of spray and pray guns. They're not particularly accurate, but if you get close enough, accuracy doesn't really come into it. Really good traverse speed of 51 degrees a second on the hull. And again on the turret as well, 42 for the turret, 260 meter view range, which is about average for a tier 2. It's been a while, so I've been having to brush up on some of the tier 2 sort of view ranges and things like that. But yeah, it's about average, and I've stuck some coated optics on it. I mean, it is a bit overkill, really, sticking that much equipment on a tier 2. But if you're going to be driving it a lot and having a lot of fun in it and doing, you know, just relaxing, doing a bit of seal clubbing, then it might be worth sticking equipment on it. But I've just gone for gun lane drive optics and vents, because you can't put a gun rammer on it. It just seemed to be the more sort of logical setup. You could drop the vents and put the enhanced suspension on to stop you getting tracked as much, but I haven't really been tracked in it yet. Most of the time, people have sort of struggled to hit me. Carries a hell of a lot of ammunition, because, like I said, it's a spray and pray. So you've got 1,200 rounds of ammunition. It was just split 600, 600. As is all the sort of ammunition on the account, all the standard ammo and all the tanks on the press account, sorry, is all just split evenly. So if you can carry 3 lots of ammunition, it is just split between it. It's just how it is. I just left it as it was. Very, very cheap for your armor piercing, only 3 silver per round, 400 per round for your APCR, so they are a lot more expensive. Or if you're paying for it with gold, 1 gold per round. So you can imagine, you could get through quite a lot of gold paying for it that way. If you just fire APCR, you can get through quite a lot of silver as well. However, like I said before, I've not had to fire any yet, but I would imagine I probably would do a bit more in Tier 4 matches. I've just put standard consumables on it for now because it's already got a ridiculous crew in it from the press account, so I didn't want to sort of influence the gameplay too much by putting your premium repair sort of stuff on there and your premium first aid kit, which obviously reduces the chance of your crew getting injured, so that's why I've just left the standard consumables on there. Now, what else is there to say about this? Not a lot really. 150 hit points, again, kind of average for a tier 2. You get some nice bonuses on it. You get 27% silver and 75% XP bonus, and that's generally how it goes. The lower the tier of the tank, the higher the XP bonus. The higher the tier, the lower the XP bonus, but it kind of averages out. I mean, I've earned a couple of thousand XP in this, in a tier 2 match, which is a hell of a lot for down at tier 2, so it swings and roundabouts which you'd prefer for your crew trainers, whether you prefer something low tier and fun, or whether you prefer something higher tier, which obviously has a higher potential of doing more damage and potentially earning more XP. But you could probably get more matches in something like this, because the quicker matches, so again, swings and roundabouts really. Wrong one. We'll look at the stats for what they are. I mean, really, again, armor wise, it's not really worth going into too much detail. You've got 16mm all around your turret, 17 on the front of your hull, and 15 on the sides and 6 on the rear, which we'll look at in a minute, even though again there's not really anything to look at. But let's talk about some of these stats, which are quite interesting. Well, a 265 horsepower engine translates to a 34.85 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio. This thing can shift. It really can. It picks up speed quickly. It seems to maintain it over most terrain, and it's just very, very mobile, and speed is your defense in this. It really is. So it's one of those sort of don't stop moving. Forward top speed of 72 kilometers an hour, 20 in reverse, and a 20% chance of fire. Quite a large engine for a small tank. It does take up most of the back of the tank, but it is a very tiny tank anyway. Concealment 0.26 stationary, 0.20 moving, which again, kind of average for down here. And it's just a nice, fun tank. Your standard reload is 7.66 seconds for your full clip. Although, obviously, with the skills and everything I've got on here, that has reduced slightly anyway. Gun depression and elevation, where you've got 21 degrees of elevation and 8 degrees of depression, which is quite nice. Again, I've not really used a great deal of depression because I've just been driving around, circling people and just emptying the clips into them. But it's there if you do need it, and that seems to be the fun with this. It is just keep moving. Like I said, that's your defense in this. Don't rely on your armor because it won't stop anything. Terrain resistances aren't too bad either, 1.03, 1.37 and 2.29, so try and avoid obviously swampy stuff if you can. That will slow you down, but otherwise you generally keep your speed up over most terrain, like I said before. Turret on top. Radio is in the right hand side of the hull. Ammunition blocks, a couple of large ones towards the bottom of the hull, basically sitting on the hull floor, going up to just above the level of the tracks. In fact, it's just below where the boxing is on the side. So again, I mean, down at this, you're really going to be aiming for ammo racks and things like that, or is it just, shoot and hope? A lot of the tanks down here have those sort of spray and pray, and if not, if they are a bit more powerful, they are very inaccurate generally, and sort of more howitzer type thing. As for your shell velocity, again, not really an issue down here. 770 for your armor piercing, a very nice 963 for your APCR. Crew members, you've only got 3. You've got the driver and the hull machine gunner, who is probably doubling up as the radio operator, and then your commander, who I would imagine is doubling up as gunner and loader and commander, or tripling up, should I say, from where he's sat. Now, armor-wise, like I said before, I've already given you the figures. It's very basic, and as you can see, it all falls into one bracket. Your armor's not really going to stop anything unless it's a very lucky bounce, you know, as you're sort of zipping around. And again, I can't emphasize enough that, you know, movement is life. So yeah, just keep moving, keep dodging, and you generally do alright in this and generally have some fun. And that gun, like I say, when you get up close to stuff, is pretty damn nasty. But yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It's a cheap, fun little runabout. I've had some really good fun in it, and you do kind of feel bad if you're an experienced player, you know, zipping about in tier 2, because a lot of people down there are not the new players, and it is a bit seal clubby, but it is just good fun as well, and it's a nice little sort of stress relieving tank, and you know, it costs you less than a £5, so you can't really grumble on any front. But yeah, very, very good, just fun. You know, that's fun, that's how I can describe it really. But let's get into the replays and see how it actually handles. Right, so here we are for the first of the replays, and tier 2 match, and that seemed to be all I got into in this, even though it does see up to tier 4. And never quite full down at tier 2, or, well, not through the week anyway. A weekend you generally get sort of more full matches down at tier 2. But yeah, here we are on Wide Park, and, well, as you can see, it is quick. It is very nippy, and you see, I've got the T7 combat cars. A while ago, not long after it first came out on PlayStation 4, they did an offer where if you sort of signed up and created your account over a certain weekend, you got a T7 combat car for free. My wife did that. She was playing it on my account. She started her own account and got one. I had a mess about it, and I quite enjoyed it. And good fun, or, you know, it can be good fun. This is way more fun. I have to admit, this is a hell of a lot more fun. And I bought I think it was last Christmas when they did that bundle again, where you got a crap load of boost ops, and you got like 5 combat cars, all just different camoed. Yeah, just chucked in for free, which, you know, if it was just paying for the combat cars, then it definitely wasn't worth it for 5 of the same. But the fact that you basically were paying for the boost ops and you just got those thrown in, that was different. But as you can see, it's just fun. That's it. It's just fun. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it's fun, and that's the only way I can describe it. I mean, you can see I wasn't even getting up close to him, but if you get up close, it's just sometimes it can be a little bit painful waiting for that reload, but you're quick enough to outmaneuver the turrets, and all of a sudden, 4 kills, match is over, 2 minutes in. It's, yeah, that's what I mean about, you know, you can go for the higher tier sort of crew trainers, but in the time it takes you to maybe have 1 match in a tier 8, you could have a couple or 3 potentially down at tier 2. But it's just, yeah, just keep moving, blast it up behind people, empty your clip, and just get out of there. Or, you know, do what I was doing with that BT2, was it? Just shooting at him as I was going. I missed a lot, but I hit a lot as well. But yeah, definitely cannot rely on your armour. It's got to be speed. You know, use your speed and manoeuvrability, and that's how you stay alive in this. But anyway, here we are for the second match, and again, another tier 2. Although I am beginning to think, it's been a long time since I played down at tier 2, but I am beginning to think that maybe it is a reduced amount of tanks in tier 2 games. But yeah, it's been such a long time since I played at tier 2. Normally the lowest thing I go in is maybe the Locust, occasionally, which is tier 3, so... but anyway, here we are on Ensk. I decided to sort of move up the field a little bit. I didn't want to go blazing straight up the field in case I ran into a bunch of them, because there's not really many enemy tanks that have been spotted on the map so far. But there are a couple of light tanks pushing down, which could give that TD a bit of bother. So I'm quick enough. I mean, this thing is, like I say, so quick. I'm quick enough to get back here and try and lend a hand before they take out, well, they're taking out the TD, but before they take out RT. And there's the T1 E6 PS, which was I want to say it was given super testers originally, but now I think they did do one where you could get it, if you downloaded the game, you could get it a bundle where you got that for free as well. In fact, they keep doing those actually, but as you can see, the gun, when you close up like that, it's just brutal. The amount of rounds it puts out, and down it at tier 2 can just wreck an enemy tank. Well, in one clip you can clip them with it. So, but yeah, going back, every now and again they do bundles on like PS Store and on Xbox Store as well. So if you've got any friends that haven't played the game yet and they're thinking about downloading it, do check it out, because there's a few where you will get a tank thrown in as well. Again, just something cheap and cheerful, but it's a free little tank, free little premium. Now, I was going to go back down that way. I thought there was a gap through the train around where I turned around actually, but it turns out there wasn't. So that's why I spun around and came back this way. And again, just keep moving straight in front of him. He couldn't keep up. Bring it to a bit of a halt. Just lock on and fire. I didn't even look, and I kind of did feel guilty doing this review, because it is very, very much seal clubbing. And all we've got left is this poor little tank on his own, and he was on full health. I just pull up alongside him and empty my clip into him, and he's done. But yeah, that's the most just plain, simple, honest fun that I've had in a tank for a long time. I've got to be honest with you. And for less than a £5, if you haven't got one, and you don't mind playing down at tier 2, it really kind of is worth picking up and just having a blast around in it and just having a good laugh. But there you go. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow with another video for you. So until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.